Before we'd had voice, so we'd be kind of searching on our external call recordings provider that we have, specifically looking for calls, which is in itself quite an onerous process, just getting onto the system and finding the calls that you require. We're able to find the calls much sooner. All the agents are on there. We're able to track disposition codes much quicker, which is quite vital for us to understand, has the right call been marked, has the right disposition been used in terms of that. But the main part of how it's changed is purely how timely the feedback is delivered and how it's been catalogued. It's all on voice. My personal favorite feature of voice for coaching is the transcript. When you actually go into the transcript, it will highlight the area where you might have set an alert or a vulnerability trigger or something like that. So I can go straight to that and I can skip all the preamble and get straight to where I need and then listen to maybe a minute before and a minute after. That is my favorite feature of the entire system, hands down, is the transcript. It just makes my job so much easier. The integration process of setting up voice has been one of the easiest things I've had to do in my career at Specialist Motor Finance. Things have been so quick, I can almost start working on something much quicker. Usually in an office environment, you'll say, here's a plan. Okay, let's go do the plan. And then a month later, they'll go, oh, we've done that now, we can start integrating. The reason why I think we got there so much quicker than your average of 90 days is because we had lots of touch points with Sardica, with other businesses and other customers that you were using that were all there rooting for you as well, that they wanted the success. And because of that, it was never difficult to use. I'm not someone who shies away from using technology at all, but when it comes to using the actual UI of voice, it was so easy and straightforward. And with the assistance and tips that we had and the procedure documents and the voice village, it was much quicker because all the information was there. I just needed to put our process procedure into voice, which wasn't that difficult. So myself and Yasmin have sat together with Voice Village on sharing her laptop and went through each module specifically, making learning notes, finding out what would be helpful, where for, and who to direct who to what. Again, it's quite easy to, when you looked at Voice Village, to be quite overfaced with the amount of information, but once we went through it and just broke it down and went, oh, this person will need this person will need this, that's why you've got a targeted list of who has done what. It was sent to them to say, you'll need to focus on X, Y, Z. That's what you'll need for your role within the voice world. You don't have to complete it all if you don't want to, but people really enjoyed the Voice Village. They completed it quite quick. If I was to get someone now, so if I was to onboard a new QA, for example, the first place I'd send them within their first week of starting the business is, excellent, you'll be using voice. I'll give you a breakdown of voice, check out Voice Village. Once you've done Voice Village, write your questions down and we'll come back to it and we'll show you how we can apply that to our learnings. If there's one thing I had to take away if I was to sell any other business about using voice, would be to say the support you'll receive is next to none. Ben, our account manager, any queries or any questions we've had, he's always put the time in to discuss that with us. Anything we've had issues with, he's quickly there to resolve the problem for us and say, well, here we can go, I'll direct this person, I'll get them looped into a conversation. So we've had voice calls, etc., with people that are like, oh, this person's going to resolve that query that you have, we can get the query resolved and we can move forward with it. It's never been something of, if I don't know the answer, I'll fluff it or wing it. Thank you for that. I don't know the answer right now, but I'll get that for you within this timeline. And the turnaround is so quick, and the support we've received from voice has been phenomenal. If someone was to ask me, why should we implement voice? I would tell them, how much time have we got? How much time have you got? I can tell you all the reasons why you should. It gives you more data. It gives you more resource. It brings your team together. It gives you something really strong to work on. You're not going to be left in the dark at any point. You've got so many points of reference to speak to. Voice in itself, the system to use, has become addictive in a weird way because I've got the data I need within 3 hours. It speeds every process up. You don't know what you don't know until voice shows you what you don't have. It gives you the data, like, oh, amazing, we can work on this now, we can do X, Y, Z. Having voice is something that I would hope every business would have in the future because it ensures that your customers are being treated to the FCA standards and the consumer duty is being hit in all of your calls, and you can rest easy knowing that all of our calls are being monitored and marked. And at the end of the day, when we're working with customers and we want to make sure our customers have the best interaction possible, voice gives you the data to do that, to make sure you're hitting those pinpoints and you can target yourself as opposed to just giving it a go.